Superstar Country 102.5 weather.
Here's your KQNK forecast. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun today with daytime highs approaching 85. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight. Lows div down to about 58. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow, 84. Clear skies and dry Wednesday and Thursday, mid-80s. Wednesday, upper 80s by Thursday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Laura Lockwood. Right now, it's 77 degrees.
This Kansas Information Network update is brought to you by Eaton Roofing and Exteriors.
I'm Britton Rucker, and here are today's top headlines from 12 News. We expect to learn the identity today of a Hayes police officer killed in a weekend shooting. It began with a domestic violence call Saturday night. The KBI says the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot. A man and a teen are in critical condition after a shooting Saturday night in East Wichita. Police say a man went outside when he saw a teen searching through his car. Police say the teen shot the homeowner and the homeowner returned fire. And Senator Jerry Moran says he's concerned about the possibility of a government shutdown. He says it's a bad look for the country and would stall progress on passing a new farm bill. Parts of the government would shut down early Wednesday if no spending plan is passed. And in Wichita, Britton Rucker, 12 News.
You're listening to the Kansas Information Network.
The Native community is big for me. Makes me feel good to pass on our Arapaho traditions. My kids love going up to the Sundance. I like to tell people the Sundance is about family. It's about the tribe. It's not just about the dancer. It's kind of like life. As a Sundancer, I'm just one spoke in the wheel. I need my family there. I need my role models. I need my people there, especially my children. You know, coming in that door, my family is ready to see me and they believe in me. Before, I'd never seen that from my people. But now when I walk in that door and I see those smiling faces and they're happy to see me, that's special. With my 4 kids, all I ask for them in Arapaho ways is health and happiness. Nothing more, nothing less.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Good afternoon. I'm Natalie Hadley with your KQNK News. Brought to you by the Norton County Hospital, providing the best care right here at home. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation, or KBI, is investigating a shooting that occurred early Sunday morning in Hayes, Kansas, resulting in the death of an officer with the Hayes Police Department. On Saturday, September 27th, just before midnight, the Hayes Police Department received a 911 call indicating that a female subject had escaped a domestic violence incident at a residence in the 2000 block of East 21st Street. And the woman reported that while she attempted to flee, her significant other, identified as 34-year-old Zane Wickham of Hayes, drove his truck into her vehicle, so she ran to a nearby home to call for help. Preliminary information indicates that on September 28th at approximately 1:55 a.m., officers from the Hayes Police Department and a trooper with the Kansas Highway Patrol were setting up a perimeter near the backyard of Wickham's residence in the 2200 block of Downing Street when a single shot was fired from inside the house and the round struck a Hayes Police Department officer. Officers immediately performed life-saving measures, and the officer was then transported by air to a regional hospital. However, despite efforts, he died from his injuries just after 4 a.m. The Hayes Police Department Special Situation Response Team, the Kansas Highway Patrol Special Response Team, and the KBI High Risk Warrant Team responded to the residence where Wickham had barricaded. The teams negotiated with the suspect with gas munitions, projectiles intended to break windows, and a surveillance drone being deployed into the residence during the standoff, and no law enforcement officers fired their duty weapons throughout the incident. At approximately 6:15 a.m., tactical teams entered the house and found Wickham deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. When this investigation concludes, case findings will be presented to the Ellis County Attorney as the investigation is ongoing. The City of Hayes will identify the fallen officer in a later news release once all appropriate notifications have been made. The Kansas Water Office announced the opening of its 2 grant programs, the Technical Assistance Fund grants and Water Projects Fund grants, and these grants were made possible by increased funding to the State Water Plant Fund with Senate substitute for House Bill 2302, a bipartisan bill signed by Governor Kelly from the 2023 legislative session that increased funding for the state water plan and established these 2 grant programs. The grant programs provide funding for upfront technical assistance and on-the-ground actions that are needed to address water quantity and quality issues around the state, and these funds are generally directed to supporting water-related infrastructure projects. Kansas Water Office Director Connie Owens said access to reliable clean water supplies is essential to all our Kansas communities. She said these grants can help applicants upgrade their infrastructure to provide a safe and secure water supply for their communities. The applications are open through tomorrow, Tuesday, September 30th, and for more information on the application criteria and processes, and to learn more about the Kansas Water Office, you can visit kwo.ks.gov. Kansas residents will soon have the chance to apply to colleges and universities across the state without paying application fees, as the Kansas Board of Regents announced that application fees will be waived October 6th through the 8th for all Kansas students applying to public universities, community colleges, and technical colleges. The 3-day window is part of the annual Apply Free Days initiative designed to reduce financial barriers for students considering higher education. Officials say the program is meant to encourage more Kansans to pursue college or technical training after high school, and students can apply online directly through each school's admissions page during the waiver period. I'll be back with more in just a moment.
Join our stellar team at Norton County Hospital. Looking for a workplace where compassion meets career growth? Look no further. If you're ready to embark on a fulfilling journey surrounded by supportive colleagues and opportunities for personal and professional development, we want you to be part of our family. Explore exciting career offerings and our comprehensive range of benefits, including capers, on the Career tab at ntcohosp.com.
The Kansas Water Authority is currently accepting applications for all 14 regional advisory committees, and committee members serve as a voice for water issues in their communities. Applications are available at kwo.ks.gov. Regional Advisory Committees, or RACs, are composed of local stakeholders and water professionals that cover a variety of knowledge, including agriculture, industry, public water supply, conservation, and more. Each RAC meets to discuss local water issues and to advise the Kansas Water Authority and Kansas Water Office on the issues in their region. RAC members serve as local connections with the public and aid in establishing priorities and actions to be included in statewide water planning efforts. Applications are available at kwo.ks.gov and are due by tomorrow, Tuesday, September 30th. The Kansas Department of Transportation is inviting citizens to share ideas and discuss regional transportation needs concerning highways, public transit, pedestrians, and more at local consult meetings taking place across the state in October. Secretary Calvin Reed said they want to hear directly from Kansans about what transportation improvements are important to them, and those attending the local consult meetings will be providing input on what projects the Kansas Department of Transportation should prioritize for future infrastructure improvements. Attendees will also learn about transportation investments being made in their area, as well as about various grant funding programs that are available through the Kansas Department of Transportation. 8 regional and metro meetings are set to help citizens to be able to attend, and the public is invited to participate in one or more meetings, including the most local in Colby from 9 a.m. to noon on Wednesday, October 15th at the City Limits Convention Center. And there will be a statewide virtual meeting from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 28th, though you do need to register in advance by visiting ksdot.gov/local-consult-2025 to attend that virtual meeting. The Kansas Department of Transportation is encouraging all Kansans to complete a short online survey to provide their input on the state's transportation system before attending the meetings. Local consult meetings occur every 2 years to provide Kansans opportunities to ask questions and speak with local, state, and federal officials about transportation needs across the state. For more information, you can visit ksdot.gov. The Kansas Department of Transportation began work on a guardrail improvement project along a portion of K25 in Rawlins County. The project work involves grading and guardrail replacement at 18 sites on K25 between the US 36 junction in Atwood and the Nebraska state line. Work will begin on structures located approximately 7.75 miles north of Atwood, and the traffic was to be reduced to one lane and directed by a temporary traffic signal for approximately 3 weeks. And the signal operation will then move to a location 1/2 mile south of the Nebraska state line for an additional 2 weeks. Traffic through all other work sites will be reduced to one lane and directed by flaggers as needed, so motorists should plan for delays of up to 15 minutes during the daylight hours. The Kansas Department of Transportation expects this project to be completed in November, conditions permitting. For more information, you can contact the Kansas Department of Transportation Area Construction Manager, Todd Anderson, at 785-953-6011. Donald Lee Schlater, 78, passed away on Wednesday, September 24th at the Osborne County Memorial Hospital in Osborne. Funeral services will be held at 10 a.m. on Saturday, October 4th at All Faiths Funeral Chapel, 113 South Madison Street in Smith Center, with Pastor Les Ellis officiating. A public visitation will be held on Friday, October 3rd from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the funeral chapel, and the burial will take place in Crystal Plains Cemetery in rural Smith County, Kansas. Memorials may be given to the Donald L. Schlater Memorial Fund and can be sent in care of the funeral home. Condolences may be left at allfaithsfuneralchapel.com. I'm Natalie Hadley. Your KQNK News was brought to you by the Norton County Hospital. You can call the Norton County Hospital at 785-877-3351 for all of your health care needs.
Kansas Agriculture Network News.
Good day, everyone. I'm Greg Akagi. What are the odds of a new farm bill getting through Congress this fall? Farm broadcaster Bob Larson has the answer.
With Congress back to work following the August recess, many wonder what our chances are of getting a new farm bill done. I asked U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse if he thinks it will get the much-needed attention sometime soon.
The short answer is yes, absolutely. We passed H.R. 1, and that was signed into law on July 4th, which, as the chairman likes to say, had the lion's share of the farm bill embedded in it.
Which Newhouse says should make a new farm bill a bit easier.
Many of the important things that we were working on were covered in H.R. 1, and so the skinny farm bill are the things that are left to do, which is about 25%, I guess, overall, are things that should be much easier to accomplish.
And the Ag Chair, Newhouse says, is on board.
The Chairman Thompson, who was with me in the district here just a few weeks ago, has told us and farmers that he has visited with that he wants to get this done as soon as possible.
So Newhouse says we need to get this done.
Agriculture needs to have the provisions that are afforded to the industry through a modern farm bill. There's so many challenges already that farmers are facing. The federal government should not be counted amongst those challenges.
So Newhouse says the House has very few excuses not to get a new farm bill done.
And the White House Budget Office is instructing federal agencies to prepare for a reduction in force plans for mass firings during the possible government shutdown, specifically targeting employees who work for programs that are not legally required to continue. The Office of Management and Budget moved to permanently reduce the government workforce if there is a shutdown, outlined in a memo shared with Politico ahead of the release to agencies late last week. This is the Kansas Ag Network.
Hi, it's Andrew Hoiberg from Calcium Products. SO4 pelletized gypsum is the superior sulfur source that delivers the right amount of sulfur, perfectly matching plant needs for yield maximizing plant growth. SO4 consistently performs in trials, providing up to a 13 bushel increase on corn. Ask your agronomist about applying SO4 pelletized gypsum and learn more at calciumproducts.com.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Kansas Agriculture Network weather.
I'm meteorologist Michael Caro on the Kansas Agriculture Network. High pressure looks to keep conditions dry across Kansas, not only for this afternoon, but for much of the remainder of the work week as well. Only exception to this will come for tonight into very early on Tuesday morning, back across western portions of Kansas, as a weak upper-level disturbance looks to work in from the west. Could maybe touch off an isolated shower or thunder shower, but again, very hit or miss with any of that precipitation for tonight. For Tuesday, any lingering clouds look to clear out by the afternoon. And then conditions looking to stay sunny and dry much of the remainder of the work week, and again still squarely above average temperature-wise, with 80s dominating for those high temperatures for much of the state. Another chance for some hit-or-miss type showers and storms returning for western Kansas into the weekend. For northwest Kansas for this afternoon, we'll see mostly sunny skies with high temperatures climbing up into the low to mid-80s, while breezy south winds at 10 to 20. For north-central Kansas, we'll see sunny to partly cloudy skies with mid-80s for high temperatures. Winds will be out of the south at 10 to 15. For northeast Kansas for this afternoon, a blend of clouds and sunshine developing with middle 80s for high temperatures. Winds will be turning to the south around 5 to 10. For southeastern Kansas for this afternoon, a mixture of clouds and sunshine developing, high temperatures reaching up into the lower part of the 80s with light southeast winds. For south-central Kansas for this afternoon, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, high temperatures climbing up into the middle part of the 80s, we'll have our winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10. And back into southwestern Kansas for this afternoon, calling for partly sunny skies, high temperatures climbing up into the lower to middle 80s, and our winds will be a bit breezy out of the south, increasing to 10 to 20 miles per hour. This is the Kansas Ag Network.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes where pride gets in the way and they may want the help, they may not know how to ask. With my traditions, with the family support in line, and just with my mind frame, I was able to turn a negative into a positive. I knew I needed more tools in my toolbox to take care of these little girls that had just lost their mother. It's time for me to be that father that I knew I could be. I think just being that good role model as well, that models good behavior in front of them, going to work every day, coming home and being able to put on that smile. The biggest reward about being a dad is sitting back and watching your kids be happy.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.